The third president to get shot was William McKinley, who was shot 6 months into his second term on September 6, 1901. McKinley was shaking hands with the public outside of a concert hall in Buffalo, New York, when another man named Leon Czolgosz, I kid you not, walked up to the president and shot him twice in the abdomen. He died 8 days later. Czolgosz was a Polish immigrant who began working at just 10 years old as a child laborer in a glass factory. Later on, when he was an adult, he got steady employment working at a steel mill. Czolgosz lost his job when the steel mill closed in the economic crash of 1893. And it took a while, but Czolgosz began to realize that I am never going to financially recover from this. Czolgosz was a skilled manual labor, but it was still very difficult for him to find consistent work, and he remained mired in poverty for nearly a decade. It was during this time that Czolgosz began to realize that the United States government was allowing business owners to exploit their workers for 12 hours a day, 6 days a week, with few holidays, no benefits, and no safety regulations, and pay them as little as possible, all while the people on the top rake in more cash than anyone had ever seen. The rich are getting richer, and the poor are getting poorer every single day. He got the wild idea that the United States government was corrupt, that it was bought and paid for by business interests, and that the powers that be did not care about the plight of the common man. And he saw President McKinley as the head of that corruption. Now, I'm just going to state that there's a reason that government schools don't focus much on the McKinley assassination. That's all I'm going to say. Interesting fact about the McKinley assassination is that he was succeeded by his vice president, Theodore Roosevelt, who was also shot, but not while he was president. His second term ended in 1908, and he was running for a third term in 1912. You could do that back then, and got shot during a speech, but it didn't kill him. He actually finished the speech. It was an interesting story. The fourth president to get shot in office was John F. Kennedy. On November 22nd, 1963, John F. Kennedy was shot by Lee Harvey Oswald. And Lee Harvey Oswald alone. It's pretty open and shut, honestly. I mean, there's no need to even entertain any other theories because the official narrative is just rock solid. The fifth president to get shot in office was Ronald Reagan. On March 30th, 1981, Reagan was departing from a speaking engagement he had at the Washington Hilton Hotel. When he stepped outside, a man who was in the crowd behind the security line named John Hinckley Jr. fired 6 shots towards the president. He said he did it to impress Jodie Foster, or whatever. Hinckley missed with all 6 shots, but one of the rounds ricocheted off the presidential limousine and hit Reagan in the abdomen, breaking a rib and puncturing a lung. Fortunately, Reagan made a full recovery from the incident. After all, it would have been a real shame if he'd been cut down just 2 months into his presidency.